Hey everybody, it's the 3M Screenwriter again. We're back after a 1 week hiatus, and we're ready to rock and roll. I've got my Chuck Norris Does All My Stunts t-shirt, and let's just get right into it. As far as my journey goes, I had to save the world and get the girl. Hit a bit of a roadblock. I haven't had very good luck writing through it, so my patented foolproof writer's block solution: change the game and just work on something else. As long as it's forward progress on some projects are getting done. I'm not on any deadlines. I'm not doing any writing assignments, so it should be just fine. So I moved on. I'm not really moved on, but I'm working on another project right now called The Reckoning, or Reckoning. I haven't decided if you want to put the in there or not. This is a supernatural kind of revenge horror script. And I'm also prepping a rewrite of Brutal Planet. I've got a good friend, Jeremy Kirk. He's reading the script right now, and he's going to provide some notes. This guy is he's an unproduced screenwriter, but man, he's really good at violence. Just wow, violence. He's gonna bring some really good notes to this thing, and I've got my other notes. So if we make the Page Awards finals, I will be ready with a rewrite of Brutal Planet. I'm also working on Reckoning, and I think that's a good thing because Reckoning, being a horror script, is probably lower budget. Well, it definitely would be a lower budget compared to How to Save the World, and might be an easier sell when we hit the expo in October. I've also launched a new blog this week because there's another script of the 3 scripts that are currently being developed, either in first draft mode or getting close to it, like The Reckoning. There's another one called Bad Gnome. And yeah, this is all about my got inspired by my gnome war on Tilt the Town. And so this blog, it's a WordPress blog. It's called No More Gnomes. There will be a link to it. And I'm actually blogging in character, in the voice of a character, one of the main characters of the script, and probably the most interesting character I've written thus far, Arlen R. Stilson, Gnome Hunter. Arlen's a lot of fun. You just got to look at the blog. It's nomorgnomes.wordpress.com. Take a look. There's only a couple of posts up right now, but the schedule is to put up at least 2 posts a week. And we're even working on moi throwing together a costume so I can start doing an Arlen R. Stilson vlog. That's right, Arlen in person, right here, just for you guys. So keep an eye on that. It's kind of an experiment in character, trying to develop the voice as well as share an interesting character, a fun character with the rest of the world, which amounts to like 3 people right now, but that's okay. And just share that and see if we can't build a little bit of an audience for Arlen and his work. I've also signed up for Paper.li. This is a great little feature. It's this free service, Paper.li, so you can just type that into your thing and go. But it creates this online daily newspaper out of your Titter stream. Yeah, that's for another blog about porn. It creates this daily newspaper out of your Twitter stream. It's a very cool service. It's free, and it just basically pulls all this stuff and intuitively throws it together in this newspaper-like format, and then you can set it up to post automatically that a new daily is up for your thing on your Twitter account, on your Facebook account, and it's really cool, and we're getting lots of good comments about it. My Paper.li is Paper.li / Justin W. Hedges. There's other good ones out there. I believe David Spies has one. Joe and Biagio definitely do. Tyler Weaver does. So there's lots of good ones out there. Interesting news. It's going on, just interesting stuff in film in general and things I'm looking at and things I have noticed. I did see The Expendables. I did not like it as much as I did like it, but I did not like it as much as Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That one was just hilariously fun. But this is, from an entertainment standpoint, this is just a good, solid, you know, ode to 80s action films. About the only thing that I didn't like about it, I don't think the girl in it can act very well, but I don't think acting quality is exactly what they were going for with this, since when you look at all the stars. But the scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis, it just seemed like overkill. The banter between Arnold and Stallone was kind of forced, trying to be cute and clever, but it just didn't come off very well. I just thought it was overkill. I don't think it was necessary. The story could have gone on with one or two lesser known guys than those two going on in that scene. But it was fun, and people die in really interesting ways, and it's just a good action film. Um, there's another a short that's going that has a Indiegogo campaign going. Angelo Bell's Legend of Black Lotus. I believe it's getting close to being done with its Indiegogo campaign period. You might want to go and check this one out. It sounds like a really interesting short, epic. I would say, if you can call a short epic, I would say that this would be the short that you would call that. Very interesting story, The Legend of Black Lotus, and I really want to see this guy get this done, so go check it out. Another Kickstarter campaign that's going on, a short film that I'd really love to see get made, is Amusing by David Spies and Phil Seneker. I mentioned it in a blog post last week for Tweeps. These are the Tweeps of the week. They were last week's, and this sounds really interesting too. They've got a Kickstarter campaign going. They could use your contributions. All kinds of links in the blog for you to follow if you want to see that. Let's jump right into the BOSI highlights for this week. There's a lot of good stuff, some must-read stuff in here that in this week's newsletter that you really need to see and really need to read. Marvin's article, The Hero's Journey, Part 2. Now remember, I missed a week, so Part 1 was in the week that I haven't plugged. So you have to go back 2 weeks to get the full story. But he's basically taken us through a hypothetical screenplay and the process it goes through from beginning to end. And this week in Part 2, Buster the Blockbuster Screenplay, that's a tongue twister there. He enters a realm of mystical creatures and power players when he hits the tracking board. There's lots of good information in this. I would highly recommend reading it. MC Foley, her very personal article this week is Pitch Black Release. This girl is she's a really good, amazing writer, and her articles are worth it just to see the quality of the writing itself. Gordon Firemark, the entertainment lawyer, he's talking about permission, getting permission and rights on previously published material and whatnot, and whether the author is deceased and what you need to do. Danny Manis, he's trying to take a new way to look at pitching. He's calling it the trailer pitch. This is an interesting article. I would read this, especially if you plan on going to the Screenwriting Expo in October, which I am. Hopefully I'll see you and get to meet some of you there. There's going to be a script chat meetup at that expo, by the way, that, take a look at script chat to get some of the details. Zach Sanford is putting all the details together. I think it's going to be on Thursday night. But Danny Manis' article is really good about the trailer pitch and could be really helpful going into that expo and what do they call theirs? The Golden Pitch Fest. Best advice for screenwriters. I don't normally plug this since it's an ongoing just segment of professionals that jump in and give a quick answer to what their best business advice for screenwriters is. But this one is really good. It's from Chris Sablin, who is a literary agent at Original Artists. Original Artists is a They're very successful, but they are a boutique agency, and this is the kind of agency that you would want to target. Don't be targeting right off the bat CAA and those kind of guys. They're looking for guys who have already established their careers and taking them to the next level. Guys like original artists, these are the kind of agencies you need to be targeting if you want representation. And his business advice this week for this segment is really, really good. It's a must read. You have to read this one. We have a new spec market roundup, the Scoggins report for up through August 15th. And Sean Henchy, the veteran screenwriting contest judge. This is another must read. It says, don't give yourself lame excuses not to write. You have to read this, especially if you're tend to come up with excuses. If you've ever told yourself, I just wish I had the time to write, read the article. Tweets of the week this week. I've got two of them. Again, Gary King, DIY writer, director, producer, New York Lately, What's Up Lovely. Gary, he's awesome. He's got a great blog, and he is also our next Insider's interview for the 3 a.m. Screenwriter, and that will be coming out this week. He's very successful. He's very good. His blog is awesome, and follow him on Twitter. Read his blog. He's got he's actually a movie that he directed for filmmakers. It's called Dismal, and if I get the companies mixed up, I apologize. You can get all the information on his blog, but this horror, it's a grisly horror film, and it's got showings on Showtime this week, starting on September 2nd, and as far as I could tell, as far as the schedule went out, all the way through the Labor Day weekend, as well as a movie that he directed for their micro-budget division. This movie is called Death of the Dead. It looks very fun. It's a zombie film. It's making its debut in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, at the Horror Find. Is this a festival or just I don't know. I don't know what Horror Find is. I didn't do enough research, obviously. But so Gary's got that coming out. He's working on How Do You Write a Joe Sherman Song. He's getting into the editing process for that in post-production. So give him a follow. He's one of the tweets of the week. The next one, Tyler Weaver. Anyone knows me knows, loves me some Tyler Weaver. He's awesome. He's got the blogazine out there called Multi-Hyphenate. He's also a screenwriter. And he is going to be guest blogging, my first ever guest blog, right here on the 3 a.m. Screenwriter, and that's going to be coming out this Thursday. So I've got an insider's interview this week, as well as a guest post from Tyler Weaver, and his subject is going to be about the importance of producing your own short films and filming your own stuff as a screenwriter. There's going to be leaks for him. So that's my two tweets of the week. And finally, screenwriting tip of the week. I don't think I really need to give you one, at least not one of my own, not this week, because what we've got is you got to read Sean Henchy's article, Don't Give Yourself Lame Excuses Not to Write. It's on the Business of Show newsletter, so you're going to have to go there, check it out. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, go ahead and do that. It's really good information, and it comes out every week on Friday, but that's my tip, is to read that. Read that article and read my latest post on the 3 a.m. Screenwriter called Stairway to Nowhere. And it just kind of boils down the importance of targeted goal setting. So that's it. Thanks for joining us this week. And as always, keep writing.